proactive and responsive social protection programs assist our countrymen in times of dire need, reaching those in geographically isolated and disadvantaged areas. More importantly, these programs seek to develop their productive potential and bridge their capacities towards self-sufficiency. With a noble aim of breaking the cycle of poverty across the country, the Pantawid Pamilyang Pilipino program has not only consistently accomplished its annual targets, it has also proven its efficacy over the years. Mula nung nakaraang Sona, mahigit 420,000 pamilya ang nag-graduate sa programa. Ibig sabihin, sa tulong ng 4Ps, mas gumanda na ang kanilang kalagayan at kakayahang makipagsapalaran sa laban ng buhay. Sa katunayan, mahigit 4,000 graduate ng 4Ps ay nasa hanay na ngayon ng mga lisensyadong guro. At hindi lamang yun, 35 sa mga top-notcher ng sari-saring mga board exam na idinaos nitong nakalipas na 2 taon ay nagmula sa mga pamilya na benepisyaryo ng 4Ps. Ilan sa kanila ay si Teacher King Jeffy Cervantes ng Davao Oriental na nakakuha ng number 1 sa licensure examination for professional teachers. Isa rin si Engineer Alexis Alegado na nanguna sa Civil Engineering Board exam noong Abril ng nakalipas na taon. Tomorrow, the birthday of Apolinario Mabini, we cap off the National Disability Rights Week. Our PWDs can rest assured of government's effective implementation of beneficial policies and programs that will guarantee equitable opportunities, special interventions, and incentives for them. Mula nang pumasok ang administrasyong ito, nagsimula na ang mga programang pangkabuhayan na nakalaan para sa ating mga PWD. Sa susunod na taon, ilulunsad naman ng PhilHealth ang benepisyo nito para sa mga batang may kapansanan. Halos dinoble na rin ang diskwento na ibinibigay sa mga PWD at sa mga senior citizen na tulad ninyo para sa mga basic necessities at prime commodities. Natuwa kayong lahat doon. Sa lahat ng mga ginagawa natin ito, katuwang natin palagi ang pribadong sektor, lalo na sa mahalagang bagay ng trabaho at pasahod. Bipartite consensus, minimum wage levels have been increased in various sectors in all regions, including the BARM, for workers and private establishments. Makakapagdulot ito ng ginhawa sa mahigit 4 na milyong mga kababayan na natin na nakanisaat ng kanilang mga pamilya. Para naman sa ating mga kawalin ng gobyerno, mayroon silang maaasahang medical allowance bilang karagdagang benepisyo sa susunod na taon. At hindi lamang yun, meron ding napipintong aumento sa sweldo na makukuha nila sa 4 na tranche. Naglaan na po tayo ng pondo para dito simula sa taong ito at sa mga susunod na taon. Furthermore, we have extended the services of our job order and contract of service personnel working in government. This will also afford them ample opportunity to work on their civil service eligibilities while gaining additional relevant experience and training to upgrade their employment qualifications. Our aggressive infrastructure development, business-friendly policies, investment and export promotions, foreign visits, and economic missions are all aimed at generating not just jobs, but quality and competitive jobs. A substantial number of investment pledges have already commenced operations, with many more at various stages of development. Sa bilang natin, Bukod sa malalaking kita para sa bansa, makakalikha ang mga ito ng mahigit 200,000 trabaho para sa ating mga kababayan. The rationalized incentive scheme under the CREATE Act has also made possible the generation of investments amounting to more than 1 trillion pesos and more than 100,000 new jobs. This promising state of affairs is now beckoning us to create more through the passage of the Create More Act. Conscious efforts to improve the ease of doing business and delivering government services through digitalization, integration, and streamlining of processes have produced their intended multiplier effects. Cost savings from operations have translated to higher revenue and to more speedy transactions. These have effectively addressed the fragmented, overlapping, and time-consuming procedures that have hindered optimal productivity by government. Attributable to these transformative reforms, government services are becoming more efficient. More and more systems are now digital and cashless, assimilating individuals, MSMEs, even agricultural workers. These have expedited transactions and commercial exchanges and promoted the convenience of all parties concerned. Ang paling-QR ay isa sa mga programang unti-unting lumalakas ang hatak sa publiko at dumarami ang gumagamit. Bolstering our Cybercrime Prevention Act, the recently passed Anti-Financial Account Scamming Act will further protect the public by heightening the responsibility and security systems of banks and financial institutions and imposing high criminal liabilities on social engineering schemes and money mules. Job placement also has seen significant progress, especially through our Public Employment Service Offices, or PESOs, nationwide. PESOs have harnessed IT capabilities and improved labor-industry coordination. Collectively, they boast a job placement success rate of 98%. Likewise, due to shortened timelines, we have recorded a significant increase in new business and corporate registrations, including foreign firms, which surpassed last year's numbers. The observed choke points in our food supply chains and in the logistics sectors are now being removed. And at the same time, the identified gaps are being filled in to make them efficient, interconnected, and seamless, saving precious time and cost. The approval of energy projects is moving towards complete virtual integration of its required procedures. The expedited processing of our infrastructure flagship projects under the Build Better More program shall also follow suit. Our digital infrastructure was substantially strengthened courtesy of common towers that more than tripled in number since last year, owing to streamlining of permitting requirements. Air transport and tourism have been made more convenient because of the shift to paperless immigration and customs forms, thanks to the e-travel system. And soon the piloted e-gates will be standard fixtures at airports to further facilitate ease of mobility during departures and arrivals. And with all this said, the implementation of the Philippine e-visa will be next in our digital transformation agenda. Let us now go to tourism, because we in the Philippines have no less than 7,641 beautiful reasons to tap the potential of our tourism sector, for which our archipelagic nation is internationally renowned and from which many Filipinos derive their livelihood. While a resurgence in this all-important sector is being observed, pre-pandemic data present to us a great challenge that we must surpass. It is a challenge that is well within our grasp. Our infrastructure and digital reforms, the development of tourism sites, and the enhancement of the overall tourist experience are all calculated to boost the productivity of the tourism sector. While doing so, we shall interpose the wholesome and hospitable Filipino brand in all the key tourism touchpoints, from tourist arrival all the way to departure. But the tourism challenge has already evolved and now requires a multifaceted strategy. The focus now is on experiential tourism. Food, culture, heritage, the arts, education, halal, Islamic traditions, dive, cruise, farm and ecotourism, even sports, have now become potent subjects and products of a nation's tourism. This is an imperative, and that we must elevate and expand our understanding of the one town, one product, or OTOP concept. It must not inhibit, but rather it must inspire. We must not condemn as one. Rather, we must seek the optimal number of high-quality products and services which at the same time showcase our community's distinctive history, traditions, and talents. Filipino creativity and ingenuity will enliven and unlock the as-yet untapped potential of these new facets of Philippine tourism. Sa ating mga OFW, ayon sa datos ng Bangko Sentral, mahigit 37 bilyong dolyar ang naipasok sa bansa ng ating mga OFW noong nakalipas na taon. Sadyang napakalaking tulong nito sa ating bumabangon na ekonomiya. Kaya hindi lamang pasasalamat, kundi parangal ang ating ipinapaabot sa lahat ng ating mga OFW. Sana ay napapanood nila ito. Ramdam na ramdam hanggang dito sa ating bansa ang inyong sakripisyo. Through vital partnerships with like-minded states, we have been able to promote our mutual interest, resulting not only in investments here and our strengthened national security, but also in quality jobs for our nationals seeking foreign employment. Through intense Philippine lobbying, the United Nations has adopted the resolution on promoting and protecting the enjoyment of human rights of seafarers. This will ensure their safe and decent living and working conditions at sea, a human rights imperative. Patuloy ang ating pagtulong sa mga OFW. Hindi ito natatapos sa kanilang sa bansa. Karagdagang mga espesyal na pasilidad at serbisyo ang ating binuksan para sa kanila, tulad ng OFW Lounge sa NAIA at Seafarers Hub sa Maynila. Ang mga OFW natin na naapektuhan ng sari-saring mga kaguluhan tulad sa Israel, sa Gaza, sa Sudan, Lebanon at Yemen ay natulungan natin at naiuwi ng ligtas sa bansa. Gayon din ang naging pagtulong natin sa mga kababayan nating nasa lanta ng kalamidad at krisis tulad sa Taiwan at sa New Zealand. Hanggang sa kanilang pag-uwi, buong puso ang ating pagtanggap at paglingap. Ang nagbabalik bayang mga OFW kasama ng kanilang pamilya ay sinusuportahan nating mabuti upang maging maayos ang kanilang bagong simula dito sa bansa para makakuha ng magandang trabaho o di kaya'y makapagtayo ng negosyo. Kaugnay sa aking naiulat noong isang taon, sinimulan na ng Saudi Arabia ang pamimigay ng cheque sa ating mga trabahanteng nawalan ng trabaho doon. Unti-unti, ang ating mga naapektuhang OFW ay nababayaran na. For this, we convey our sincerest gratitude to the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Lessons from history and current events teach us that peace and order is an essential ingredient of genuine prosperity and social development. This is the path that we choose to take. Despite difficulties, despite our diversity and differences as a people, we are joined together by a unique history and have constantly invested our energies and resources in strengthening the pillars of peace. Our police, military, and Coast Guard undergo continuous capacity building and asset upgrading so that they are better able to preserve the peace and defend our territory. We have noted an overall decrease in crime rate and an improvement in crime solution efficiency. But this is not enough. This is not enough. Our law enforcement need to continue to earn the trust of our people. The strong pillars of our criminal justice system, especially in light of the new rules on criminal investigation and our independent judiciary, function in unison. In tandem with the justice system, COA's audit mechanism works in harmony with our transparency, streamlining, and open government initiatives. All in all, these successfully foster a culture of accountability that curbs corruption in government. With the newly enacted Republic Act number 12009 that I signed just last Saturday, government procurement will be modern and innovative, more streamlined and efficient, and truly on par with global best practices. We sincerely thank Congress for its timely and decisive action in amending the 20-year-old law. We have come a long way in our quest for a lasting and inclusive peace. No guerrilla fronts remain active across our country today. Only 7 weakened groups remain to be dismantled, and they are the subject of focused operations. But along with the assertion of government might, we also offer peace, community development, and reintegration programs for those who have returned to the fold of the law. Through a comprehensive and transformative approach, we have rebuilt not only lives, but also conflict-affected communities. The implementation of peace agreements is now in its concluding phase. Former combatants now live peaceful and productive lives in their respective communities. Some of our former rebels are now absorbed into the AFP, serving in the defense of the Republic, while others are now part of the PNP BARM. Government will honor and fully comply with its remaining deliverables and commitments under these agreements. In November last year, we signed proclamations granting amnesty to former rebels. A month later, and then in June of this year, the House of Representatives and the Senate issued their respective resolutions concurring with these amnesty proclamations. That Congress is one with us is a testament to the whole nation's sincere desire for peace. In such a short period, the BARM has impressively established a strong foundation for its progressive autonomous social development. Investments continue to pour into the BARM. Last year, investments in the region increased by 140% year on year. The improved peace and order situation, good governance, not to mention high hopes and confidence amongst its people, all contribute to the reasons why poverty index has significantly decreased since 2018. In Marawi, the rehabilitation and rebuilding continue under the supervision now of the Office of the President. Our focus remains on restoring energy, water, and livable communities. As of today, all 7 intergovernmental mechanisms of the BARM, as mandated under the organic law, have been organized and activated. Guarantee effective and constant consultation between the Bangsamoro and national governments in the fundamental aspects of governance. 5 out of the 7 essential laws for the BARM have already been enacted by the BTA Parliament. Now it has its own administrative code. It has its own local government code, its own election code, and those for education and the civil service as well. So with these inspiring developments, the BARM appears primed and ready for its regular elections, the first ones that they will have in the coming year. On the fight against dangerous drugs, our bloodless war on dangerous drugs adheres and will continue to adhere to the established 8 E's of an effective anti-illegal drug strategy. Extermination was never one of them. than 71,500 operations. It has resulted in the seizure of more than 44 billion pesos worth of illegal drugs and the arrest of more than 97,000 drug personalities. More than 6,000 of those arrested were high-value targets. 440 of them were government employees, of whom 42 were uniformed personnel. 77 were elected officials. So to further paralyze their operation, dirty money and assets worth more than 500 million pesos have been frozen and preserved. With strong case build-up and efficient prosecution, the drug conviction rate is at a high of 79%. Together with this, we welcome the report that the number of drug-affected barangays in our country has been reduced by 32%. In our international relations, we have faced challenges to our territorial sovereignty, and we will assert our rights and interests in the same fair and pacific way that we have always done. Proper diplomatic channels and mechanisms under the rules-based international order remain the only acceptable means of settling disputes. Peace and community building will always be our clarion call, especially when the country serves as chair and the host of ASEAN Summit in 2026. We continuously try to find ways to de-escalate tension in contested areas with our counterparts, without compromising our position and our principles. I know that our neighbors too are doing their best to make this work. The Philippines cannot yield. The Philippines cannot waver. We are now more conscious as a people and strategic in heightening our aerial and maritime domain awareness. We are continuing to strengthen our defensive posture, both through developing self-reliance and through partnerships with like-minded states. Ang West Philippine Sea ay hindi katang-isip natin lamang. Ito ay atin. Ito ay mahal na bansang Pilipinas. Pagtitibayin at palalaguin natin ang kamalayan at kaalaman ng buong bansa at titiyakin na maipapasa natin ito sa kabataan at ating susunod na mga salinlahi. Laws on our maritime zones and archipelagic sea lanes make sure that this intergenerational mandate, this duty, will firmly take root in the hearts and minds of all our people. Sa buong sandatang lakas, sa Coast Guard, sa ating mga mangingisda sa West Philippine Sea. Tagapin po ninyo ang taus-pusong pasasalamat ng buong bansa dahil sa inyong ginagawang pagmamatyan at sakripisyo. Economic status and our prospects. In spite of things that we have faced, we have stayed the course. The country exhibits healthy signs of post-pandemic resilience comparable to strong economies in our region. Our poverty rate has significantly dropped to 15.5%, down from 18% in 2021. This present figure is even lower than the pre-pandemic level of 16.7% in 2018. Ang katumbas nito ay halos 2.5 milyong Pilipino ang naiangat natin mula sa kahirapan. Kasabay nito, nabawasan ng nagpas 1,700,000 ang bilang ng mga Pilipinong walang sapat na pambili ng pagkain. Patuloy natin pagsisikapan na marami pa tayo may aahon mula sa kahirapan. To sustain the country's economic gains, we are promoting investment-led growth. Set in motion policies and programs to create an environment conducive for business to thrive, like reforms in the capital markets and implementation of green lanes. As a result, we have green lanes certified, around 100 projects with a total investment of about 3 trillion pesos across the sectors of renewable energy, digital infrastructure, food security, and manufacturing. The Philippine financial system remains robust and resilient. Tax and non-tax revenue collection has also become more efficient in pace with our rejuvenated economy. Notably, for the past 2 years, our GOCCs have remitted dividends to the national government with a combined tally exceeding their contributions in 2022. To build on these, and guided by strong fiscal discipline, our proposed government budget for this year was crafted with utmost care, diligence, and meticulous attention. We look to the cooperation of our colleagues in the legislature, not only that our proposed national budget be approved in your usual timely manner, but it be adhered to closely as possible. We expect all agencies to ensure that every centavo allocated will be judiciously spent for our urgent priorities and socially impactful programs. Mga kababayan, sa lahat ng ginagawa natin ito at mga gagawin pa, mataas ang aking kumpiyansa na malalampasan din natin ang hamon ng ating pinagdadaanan. Dahil ito ang pangunahing hinaing ng taong bayan. Hindi tayo titigil sa paglalaban sa kahirapan at sa paghahanap ng lunas upang maibalik sa normal ang presyo ng bilihin, lalo na ang bigas. At ngayon po, naririnig po namin ang malakas na sigaw ng taong bayan laban sa mga pogo. Disguising as legitimate entities, their operations have ventured into illicit areas furthest from gaming, such as financial scamming, money laundering, prostitution, human trafficking, kidnapping, brutal torture, even murder. The grave abuse and disrespect to our system of laws must stop. Kailangan nang itigil ang panggulo nito sa ating lipunan at paglalakastangan sa ating bansa. Effective today, all pogos are banned. I hereby instruct PAGCO to wind down and cease the operation of POGOs by the end of the year. The DOLE, in coordination with our economic managers, shall use the time between now and then to find new for our countrymen who will be displaced. This will solve many of the problems that we are encountering. It will solve many of the problems that we have been encountering, but it will not solve all of them. To solve all the problems that we have been suffering under, all officials, law enforcers, workers in government, and most of all, the citizenry, must always be vigilant, principled, and think of the health of the nation. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me end by recalling the words of a great man. Let not anyone pacify his conscience by the delusion that he can do no harm if he takes no part and forms no opinion. Bad men need nothing more to compass their ends than that good men should look on and do nothing. He is not a good man. He is not a good man who, without a protest, allows wrong to be committed in his name. Mga minamahal kong kababayan, lagi po nating labanan ang mali at ang masama. Lagi po nating ipaglaban ang tama at ang mabuti. Lagi po nating mahalin ang Pilipinas. Lagi po nating mahalin ang Pilipinas. Mabuhay po kayo at mabuhay ang bagong Pilipinas. Maraming salamat po.
Hereby adjourned.
On the part of the House of Representatives, the joint session is adjourned.